Hey, my name is Emily Schultz, and I'm going to be talking about my literacy story. Basically, I'm going to talk about how I'm literate in journalism. My journalism literacy story begins when I was really little, and I spent nearly all of my time at my grandparents' house. And my grandma used to literally read to me all the time. She used to talk to me. She's one of the reasons I started liking to learn. My grandma and I actually, it's a funny story because I had these geography books, and I knew everything about every state. I felt like when I was 8 years old, and that got me interested in just learning about different people. And then in second grade, I started to like writing, and I didn't even realize it until looking back at my second grade yearbook. And actually, my teacher, her name was Miss Barber, and she wrote in my yearbook, she said something about me getting a copy of my first book. I didn't know what I was going to do when I grew up when I was 8 years old. I thought I was going to be an astronaut or something. But I hadn't really thought about ever becoming a writer. And then I went to high school and I took my first journalism class my freshman year, and I absolutely loved it. I loved interviewing people. I loved writing stories. I liked telling people stories. I thought that was the coolest part. I was the one conveying the information to other people. I got to interview one of Delaware's state senators, which I thought was so cool because, who gets to do that as a 14-year-old in high school? Not a lot of people. And so I was like, okay, let me pursue this. And so I took a production broadcasting class for the 3 years because I went to a VOTEC school. And I basically learned everything I could about journalism in the 3 years. And my teacher was one of the most supportive people, and anything that had to be written, he'd come to me and say, Emily, can you write the script for this? And I was just like, sure. I never thought writing would be something I wanted to do as a career, because really what can you do? You can be an author, but you can do anything as a writer. And that's kind of where I'm coming from now, is I've decided to pursue journalism, and currently I am a writer for the East Carolinian, which is really cool. As a freshman in college, I'm writing a story almost every week so far, and 20,000 people, even more than that, have the opportunity to read it. And most of the time the stories are online, but it's just wow, my name is out there. Every time a paper comes out and I see my name on the byline, I freak out, because it's the craziest thing to me, seeing my name being published. But I think that's the coolest thing ever. So, but I don't know, I've gotten just to the point where I think journalism is something I'm passionate about, and I've been writing for my entire life, so it's just something that comes naturally to me now. My background in writing has just made me want to tell these stories, and I think it's so cool. So that's my literacy and journalism story.